All right. Well, I think we can go ahead and get going. Hey, everyone. Thanks for coming to the SMS Marketing Playbook for Restaurants. My name is Dylan Ward. I'm the Demand Generation Manager at SlickText. I help companies solve their marketing and communication problems with text messaging, and I'm excited to share today. We have our friend Luke on. Luke, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Luke. I co-own a digital marketing company specifically helping restaurants. So we use SlickText as one of our really great partners, and we use SlickText for all of our clients. So I'll be sharing some best practices too.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much, Luke, for helping us out with this and sharing your wisdom. Today, we're going to talk about SMS for restaurants. We've broken this down into why SMS. I know that if you're on this call, you're probably already thinking SMS is worthy of your time and worthy of your attention, but we'll go a little bit over why it's so important for you to be using SMS. Then we're going to talk about deciding on the incentive, how to grow your list, and then how to deliver on that incentive that you promised to your subscribers. So let's start with why SMS, and I'm going to kick it off to Luke.
Awesome. Thank you, Dylan. Yeah, so there's a lot of reasons why SMS, guys, and if you have not done any SMS for your restaurant yet, that's okay. That's pretty normal. If you've done some email marketing in the past for your restaurant, SMS is going to be a very similar conversation, but it can be a lot more effective and in a lot of ways a lot simpler as well. So just to touch on a few benefits of doing SMS, first of all, you own all the data. So instead of focusing, a lot of restaurateurs and just business owners make the mistake in general of focusing on like followers, right? Facebook followers, Instagram followers. And while those things are really nice to have, it's more of like a feel-good metric. Like you don't really own those contacts. They're not your followers, they're Facebook's followers, right? And big tech can kind of change their algorithms whenever they want. And like they did about 10 years ago. 10 years ago on social, you were able to reach all of your followers just by posting a picture. Everybody would see it. These days, you're lucky if your organic reach, how many people see your posts if you're not spending money on them. About 5% of your followers, 5 or 10% if you're lucky, are going to see any announcement that you make. So with SMS and by using SlickText, you have full ownership of that person's information. Nobody can take that from you. So it's think about it like an asset. Think about it like like having money in the bank, right? The more people you have signed up for your SMS list, the better. Which leads me into that second point there about the open rates and the click rates. Compared to doing like maybe email marketing, and email marketing is still really good, but compared to doing like email marketing where maybe you get like a 15% open rate, with SMS, you can get upwards of 80, 90, 95% open rate. And so just being able to reach the people who are actually on your list, it kind of sounds silly and simple, but it's really important, obviously. And so having those people on your list and being able to reach them with a text message right on the phone. I can go into some case studies with a lot of our restaurants, but if you can reach people, you can sell to them. That's really as simple as that. So open rates and click rates are a lot higher with text messaging, which is obviously important and really valuable. The third point there is about keeping this stuff trackable. There's a lot of ways that you guys can track how well this stuff works, not just in opens and click rates and not just in how many people saw your stuff, but really around how many people are coming in from this stuff, right? How much sales is generated, how many customer visits are actually happening as a result of doing SMS and sending text messages to people. So we'll talk a little bit more about how to use offers and use different types of links to be able to track, how well your efforts are working, and so you make sure that you're spending time and energy and money in a way that's benefiting your business. And yeah, just the fourth point there is text messaging really is the most valuable way to reach a customer. There is a common thought out there of like, I don't want to bother my customers, or I don't want to annoy my customers. Well, if you do it the right way, you're not annoying them, you're not bothering them, you're more building a relationship with them. So if your best friend texts you something like, hey, let's go hang out, you don't get annoyed by that. You probably like that, right? So the same thing with the restaurant too. If your favorite restaurant texts you, they address you by your first name. Hey, Bob, we've got this new burger. You should come check it out. It's a really, really valuable way to connect with your customers. It's not spammy or generic. You can customize it so it feels like it's coming directly from a friend. So it can be a really, really nice way to build that relationship with your customers if you do it in the right way. And most people, on the fifth point here, most people open up their text messages instantly, like within, I forget the exact stat, Dylan, but within like 5 minutes of sending a text, you'll have 95% of people open that text within 5 minutes. So they'll open it right away. It's a lot less cluttered than email. If you look at some of your email accounts, I'm sure if you're like me, you have some fake email accounts, or like maybe just generic email accounts that you've got 10,000 unread emails in there, right? And so SMS is a way to cut through that noise and actually reach people and get your message to them. So I'll talk about this slide as well. Growing your database is going to be really important. Obviously, if you send text messages to 10 people, it's not really going to do a whole lot for you. We recommend for all of our restaurants to try to get to 10,000. If you can get to 10,000 contacts on your database, it's just a rule of numbers, just the law of numbers. If you can send text messages to more people, it's better than sending to less people. So incentives are really important on getting people to join your list. So a couple of, you want to give people a reason to do something. People won't just do something just because they feel like it. You got to give them a reason to do it. And so I would recommend, this is what we do for about 1,000 restaurants, have some sort of tangible incentive to join your list. So stay away from discounts and coupons, stay away from $10 off, stay away from 10% off, stay away from those types of things. I would recommend going with a tangible gift. So don't call it a coupon, don't call it like discount. This is an offer. This is a welcome gift to join your fan club, to join your list, and to come on try your restaurant. So some examples of this would be, a free dessert. Hey, enter your phone number below to get a free dessert, right? Enter your phone number below to get a complimentary appetizer. Things like that. People's brains just think like, oh, that sounds great. It's more exciting than just like a 5 or 10% off type of thing. So yeah, that's really it. There's a lot of ways you can get people to join your list, and we'll talk about that. But one of the best ways is to offer something in exchange. So we'll give you a free dessert. If you give us your phone number, everybody's happy. And then once you have those people, joining your list, now is your opportunity to stay in communication with them. Okay. And so don't overthink what you should send them. Honestly, send them anything. If you need help with staffing, you can send your list, hey, we're looking for help with staffing. Do you guys know anybody? You can send them new menu items, holiday announcements, right? Maybe you've got like catering you want to push during high school graduation season coming up in the spring, or even just friendly messages on slow nights or during lunches, right? Maybe during, Tuesday during lunch, you send out a text message. You can automate this too. You can just be automatic, set it up one time. Maybe it goes out every other Tuesday at noon. And the text message says, hey, first name, hey, Dylan, do you guys have any lunch plans today? We've got good burgers. Come on in. Here's our address. So you can give people really, really simple reminders of what to come in, and don't overthink it. You're not going to have one message or one announcement that makes or breaks you. It's more about consistency. So you're going to have some messages you send and nothing happens. Nobody comes in. You're going to have other messages that you send and you'll sell, 10 grand worth of gift cards. So it's just kind of hit and miss. There is really no magic pill. If anything, the magic pill is doing it consistently and not worrying about little ups and downs in your responses, but doing it consistently over time. So that's just some ways to think about this stuff. And then on the last point here, you can actually build a drip campaign. So you can send one-off announcements with SlickText. They've got a really, really nice platform. We've looked at a lot of different SMS marketing platforms, and SlickText is by far the best. And I'm not just saying that. They've got a really cool tool that you can use where it's called a drip campaign. And so instead of sending like one-off messages, you can actually build a drip campaign, which is essentially like a welcome sequence. So if anybody signs up for your list, maybe you have like a 5-touch welcome sequence where they get familiar with your restaurant. Maybe you send them one text message every 10 days, right? Not overkill, but you want to be able to communicate with them. So just as an example for a drip campaign, you could do, the first message could be like, hey, here's your complimentary dessert that we promised you. Maybe 10 days later, you automate them a message that says something like, hey, and by the way, if you don't know much about our restaurant, here's what we're all about. And then put a little customer education in there. So, hey, we were founded back in the day by blah, blah, blah. And our pasta maker comes from Italy and whatever. And so you can do a little of that education there. And then hit them with a couple of recurring things that are always happening in your business. That could be a really nice way to like introduce people to your brand. And they'll start remembering more about you and have a higher likelihood of coming on in. So would highly recommend using drip campaigns and also sending like one-off announcements like we talked about here.
Awesome, thanks. Now that we've talked about why you should be using SMS, deciding on what's the right incentive for your restaurant, we're going to talk about how do you actually get people onto your list. We found that there's really 3 tools that are essential for restaurants if you want to be growing your list. So today we're going to be talking about website pop-ups, QR codes, and opt-in web forms. So chances are you've spent a lot of effort and money to build a website where people are visiting. And if you're only collecting information when someone checks out or makes a reservation, places an online order, then you could be missing out on about 95% of the people that are visiting your website. If you do put a pop-up on your website, you're able to have the chance to collect that information, gain subscribers before they ever even become an actual paying customer of yours. We'd recommend putting that on every page of your website, but especially on your homepage, on your menu page that would get visited a lot, your location and hours page, and your reservation page. If you are already a SlickText customer, the pop-up builder in the marketing tools tab has a ton of features that you can use as a starting point. A ton of templates you can use as a starting point. And it's really easy to just add your own photos, your own color palette that goes with your brand, and change what kind of info you collect. So if you wanted to collect emails as well as phone numbers, or if you wanted to collect first, last name, and phone number, you can completely customize your pop-up. They're a really great place to advertise that valuable offer, that incentive to your website visitors. And they can just fill out their info, immediately get that confirmation text, and even that mobile coupon right away. QR codes, I'm sure if you're a restaurant, you're familiar with QR codes. They had a big comeback with the pandemic. And the reason why they're so great with SMS is because you can get opt-ins with very, very little error. With a QR code for your SMS program, you should be putting that on the table tents, putting them on the menus, in the bathroom, on the doors, anywhere you can in your restaurant to advertise your campaign. And there's different ways that you can use QR codes in the SlickText QR code builder. You can actually pull out your phone right now if you want to test this out. On the left is the ability to set up the QR code just to opt people in. And what that's going to do is going to pull up a new text message, and it will automatically have your text word and your phone number pre-filled. So they just hit send and then they've opted in. And then on the right, you can actually send people to a opt-in web form that you can build in SlickText. It is basically a landing page that you can create where you'll be able to add whatever additional information that you want on it. This is great. This is a great way to go if it's important to you to have their name and their email and their birthday, or really any other information besides just their phone number initially. So there's a lot of different ways that you could be using QR codes. They're a great way because there's very little room for error. Opt-in links, again, a great tool that you should be using. It's similar to the QR code. So if you click one of these opt-in links from an SMS enabled device like your cell phone, it's going to pull up a text message just like that QR code did with your text word and your phone number pre-populated. So all they have to do is hit send. And when you create an opt-in link, you could be using this all over social media as well, so that if they're clicking that link from a desktop that doesn't have SMS enabled, you can set up a fallback URL like your website or your opt-in web form, so that no matter how they're clicking that, it's an easy way to get opted into your list. We really recommend using these anywhere you can. If you are already doing email marketing, put these opt-in links into every single email that you're sending out. Use them on your Instagram story, use them on your Instagram profile page, wherever you're trying to get people's attention, offer them this incentive to join your list, and it's super easy with opt-in links. So let's transition into how we deliver on the incentive that we're offering to gain subscribers. So there's a couple different ways to do this. The hands down, the easiest way is through your text words auto reply. And this could be something as simple as, here, show this text at the register for 20% off today, or for a free appetizer or a free dessert. You can even include a dynamic expiration date in this auto reply so that it's only available for 24 hours. Just a note, if you are using SlickText, make sure you have one per person turned on in the text word settings, so that each phone number signs up can only get this auto reply one time, and people aren't able to just, dupe the system. Mobile coupons. Mobile coupons are a great way to get in contact with your subscribers on a regular cadence. You can include these in those drip campaigns that Luke was talking about. They're great for weekly specials, maybe first of the month specials. With mobile coupons, you can include a short link in your text that's going to open up to this coupon in their browser that can include a barcode for your POS, unique coupon codes, dynamic expiration dates, and you can completely customize this to be fully branded to your restaurant. So they look very professional. They're super easy to set up. If you go into the marketing tools on your SlickText dashboard, you'll find mobile coupons there. And with it, it's very easy again to just customize all these 4 steps and take advantage of the branding capabilities so that everything looks completely on brand to your restaurant. And then once you save that mobile coupon, you'll be able to use it anytime you want to change your auto reply, or when you want to send out a text to your list. Here, where that red arrow is pointing, you'll see that little phone icon, and you'll see when you click that, all of your mobile coupons that you've created, and just drop them into that campaign. MMS. Restaurants are in a unique position to utilize MMS, or multimedia messaging service, because sight is so important for food. A study's shown that people only remember about 10% of the information that they read or hear, but if you pair that information with a relevant image, the percentage skyrockets to 65%. Another study showed that restaurants that went from just text-based menus to photo-based menus in their online ordering increased conversion rate by 25%. So again, restaurants, you are in a very unique position to be able to utilize MMS. So it's just seeing these 2 text messages side by side, the exact same text, it's easy to see that the one with the image is going to probably cause more behavior change and purchases. MMS messages do cost more because the cell phone carriers charge more for photos to go through instead of just text messaging. But I would really encourage you to test this out. test out sending just the text versus a text with an image. And it's a really great place to test to see if it's worth it for you. If you have professional photography, great. But if not, any iPhone from the last 5 years has the ability to take great photos that are worth sending out to your subscribers. Birthday rewards. Again, a very useful tool for restaurants. A lot of restaurants do it. It is a really great tool for list growth. It's a great way to build loyalty. You can maybe offer something of higher value because you know that they'll only have a chance to redeem this once a year. So in the settings of your text word, if you're using SlickText, you can turn on birthday text, which when you set it up, it'll require them to respond to that auto reply with their birthday, and it's going to automatically update their contact information in SlickText and then send them a happy birthday text. You can set that the day of, the day before, or however close you want to that date. And then custom fields. So standard in the contact page for every one of your subscribers is going to be their mobile phone number, first name, last name, date of birth, email, city, state, and zip. But custom fields give you the ability to set up your contact list so that you collect things like which location of yours do they frequent? Are they a trivia player and they want that you need to send out the Thursday night trivia text? Whether or not they purchase merch or gift cards, knowing that when those gift card campaigns come around at Christmas time, that they want to be getting those text messages. With custom fields, it's very easy to set up. When you go to your text words, select options and then settings and go to custom fields. And once you're there, you'll be able to type out any sort of data that you really want to be collecting. It could be a text or a number or yes or no or a date. And then once this is set up, you'll be able to add this custom field to your opt-in web forms, or you can upload a spreadsheet, or you can use this as a survey response, and making sure that SlickText is really working for you and that it's completely customizable to what you need. Lastly, I'll just touch base on automation. There are great ways to use automation to help your subscribers have this personalized experience with your brand through text messaging. The birthday rewards and the auto replies are a great example of automation in SlickText. Setting up the birthday, they're automatically going to get that text on their birthday. It's very personal. There's a couple other ways that you can use automation to your advantage. We'll talk about email capture and automated workflows. Email capture is just as easy as birthday rewards. In your text word settings, you can set up your auto reply so that you ask for their email, and once they send it, then you can send them your incentive. And with all the integrations that are possible with your email software, so if you're using MailChimp or ActiveCampaign, you're able to integrate that with SlickText. And so those emails get synced up and go straight to your email marketing platform, which is a great tool. And automated workflows. This is really a tool that sets SlickText apart from pretty much every other SMS marketing tool around. This is very easy and powerful to take advantage of. With workflows, you can build intelligent automated sequences that engage at scale. And that sounds kind of complicated, but essentially it's the ability to create a path for your subscribers that can be totally personalized by mapping out these little tasks for SlickText to do in the background. So it sounds very personal and like you're really texting them. This is just an example of a template that we have for survey collection. With this example, someone joins your list, it waits for a day and sends them a text inviting them to give you some feedback. They can send you feedback, and SlickText actually reads this feedback and checks the sentiment, seeing, okay, was this positive feedback? Was it negative? Can I not tell what it is? And then you're able to set a path depending on what the sentiment of that feedback was. So if it's unknown, thank you for your feedback. Don't really know what to do that, but you'll be able to read that feedback later. Neutral, again, thank you for your feedback. With negative feedback, this is crucial for GMs and restaurant operators. Getting that negative feedback, you can automatically have an email sent to your management team so that they're able to read that feedback, know how to follow up, know how to coach and train their staff better. And then with positive feedback, you can set that auto reply after they give you positive feedback. Send them your Yelp review page, send them your Google review page so that you're able to know that you're going to get quality reviews. With automated workflows, there's a lot of options here. This is just one small example of what you can be using, what you can be doing with automated workflows. But if your net promoter score is really important, you could do that through workflows. An autoresponder for when someone asks for your hours, or you can make complicated surveys. You can even set up contests through automated workflows where the first 25 to join get one prize, and then the 75th customer gets this grand prize. It's an amazing tool. I really would encourage you to go in and click around and see all what's possible. So thank you so much for listening. I'm going to go ahead and open up. If anybody has any questions, Luke and I will take the next 5 or so minutes to answer those. You can go ahead and drop those into the chat, and we'll see those or the Q&A.
Yeah, and just to add a little bit more color here too, guys, around the importance of this. You're probably wondering, like, what type of impact can this actually have at my restaurant? Is it going to be small impact? Is it going to be a big impact? If you can get those 10,000 people to join your list, it's going to be very fruitful. And, even if you get 5,000, 6,000, whatever, like try to get to 10,000. And I'll just share some examples that we have with some of our restaurants. Can't guarantee these exact results for you, but you just use it as like an example. Some of our restaurants, we've got, they've got like 12, 15,000 people signed up to hear from them from texting. And we'll send out a message selling gift cards. We'll say, hey, click here to buy a gift card for your loved one if you're late on your Christmas gifts. And we've had some clients of ours, like instantly within minutes of sending a message, they'll sell like, 14 grand worth of gift cards, $14,000 worth of gift cards. We've had other situations where they'll announce like a holiday meal deal. Like we had a restaurant in Arizona. They had, I think, only like 2,000 people join the list, and they announced that they were doing like some holiday meal deal. There was like $150 for, a meal for a family or whatever. And we sent out a text message for them about that through SlickText. And they sold like $6 grand worth of those meal deals. So, different scenario. We actually did some gift card sales for one of our clients in Florida for Black Friday. And I think it was Cyber Monday, one of those. And they've never sold really gift cards almost ever. And from sending one message, they sold $4 grand worth of gift cards. And that's more than they've ever sold in an entire year before. So, those are just some examples. If you guys can build that database, if you've used the techniques we're talking about here today, you'll definitely be able to grow that list. And again, some messages you send out, you might get no response. Some messages you send out, you're going to get a lot of response. So, just use that for for whatever it's worth. If you can get a lot of people joining, you can communicate with people pretty effectively, and then, bring them back in, upsell things. So it can make you a lot of money. So yeah, like Dylan said, if you guys want to ask any questions, there is like a little raise hand icon.
Yeah, we do have one right here.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
I do see, Luke, a question for you. It says, Luke, from your experience, have you identified the best time of day to send an SMS?
Yeah, it's a really good question. There really isn't the perfect time. There's not really a magic pill. Just got to do it, consistently. But I would recommend, obviously don't do it too early in the morning. Don't do it too late at night. If you're going to do anything, do it at like 10 a.m. or 2 p.m. Like 10 a.m. or 2 p.m. if it's a general message. If you're trying to bring someone in to eat at your restaurant, maybe that day, I would recommend doing it like an hour before somebody would typically want to eat. There's a lot of studies that are done, but most people don't really plan out all their meals. And so they'll decide like last minute, what they're going to be having for dinner or for lunch. For example, for me, for dinner tonight, I have no clue what I'm going to eat yet. But if I got a message from a restaurant saying, "Hey, Luke, we're like a block away from you. We've got some pretty good burritos," I would probably think to myself, "Oh, that's a good idea. Like I'm hungry." And so just send it during those times that you guys are actually operating, because people are making those last minute decisions. So 10 a.m., 11 a.m., noon. If you're going to get people in for dinner, do it at like 4 or 5.
That's great. Another question here. What happens if someone replies to a message I sent? Am I able to respond to them individually? Yes. In SlickText, you'll be able to go to your inbox and see who is responding to you, and you have one-to-one messages with them. And the good news is that any incoming messages don't cost anything. So those don't count against your credits. Great. One last thing I'll say to touch base on what Luke was emphasizing. Luke has worked with obviously hundreds and hundreds of restaurants, and SlickText has worked with thousands and thousands of customers. Restaurants are not, and list growth really is the number one thing that determines the success of your SMS marketing program. And so if you can put your efforts into growing your list, getting creative, really finding the right incentive, testing things out to see where's the best place that I can be putting my QR codes in my restaurant, doing anything that you can to focus on growing your list, you are going to find success with your SMS marketing. So with that, thank you so much for attending this webinar. We're looking forward to getting this content into an ebook form, and we could send that out to you guys here in the next probably couple weeks. But if you have any questions about SMS marketing, I'd encourage you to reach out to anyone in our sales or support team at SlickText. Very knowledgeable, always willing to help. So thank you so much, and hope you have a great day. Thanks again, Luke.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.